Gina Reinhardt said no, withdrew her $15 million. So Dan Andrews has stepped in with taxpayers' money to fill the gap. I heard one wag saying, well, maybe Gina Reinhardt could subsidise Victoria because they're the ones who are stony broke.
Well, I can't believe it. Victoria's just a combined of 3 states. It's just ridiculous. He's done this as, some sort of throw a bone before an election. It's absolutely disgraceful. I think it's going to backfire on Dan, but I'm most angry that Matthew Guy and the Liberals have not come up. I mean, Guy said he'd honoured the deal. I would have said, no deal, no deal. But look, the response to Mrs Reinhardt has been absolutely amazing around the country. I know she has a lot to do with this station, but I'd say it anyway. It's been a remarkable response. I think she's so used to being just, piled on. To have this warmth around her is quite unusual, and she's really moved by it.
She stuck to her guns. She took a principled stance and said, well, if you're going to demonise me, I'll have my money back. Thank you very much. Yeah. Right thing to do. But Jim Allan, I'm just wondering if the netball players are aware that the Labor Party, who they're taking their $15 million off now, supported the White Australia policy up until the 1940s. Do you think that's occurred to them?
No, these pontificating sports people don't know any history, and I agree with Tina. It's sort of shocking that the opposition in Victoria is agreeing. They said they didn't really like it, but they were going to support it. I was sort of wondering, what would Dan Andrews have to do to get the opposition party to disagree? I mean, I expect if he said every school kid has to read the Communist Manifesto, they would say, well, only half of it. Because, only half of it, because we're sort of unhappy with this. They are the most worthless opposition in the entire country. It's just unbelievable how this thuggish government and these netballers are aligning themselves with a hard left political party. This will come back to haunt them. But how you can align yourself with them and an opposition can't find anything to, should be a lay down opposition win for the election. They are so completely useless, it's frustrating.
James McPherson, last word.
It's hard to believe that the Australian netball team, with their finely tuned moral compass, could accept Daniel Andrews' money. I mean, they had a perfectly good deal that cost taxpayers nothing, and now they're going to suck from the taxpayers' teeth $15 million from a state that's already, in this budget, $10 billion in deficit. How can they morally accept that if they're going to take a stance? And once you start playing these games, that's the problem. Every sponsorship deal from now on, people are going to ask questions. How could you possibly support that?
Absolutely.
Well, can I just add, they don't do the training that other elite sports do, netballers. They do not a lot goes into it. So most of them could actually have a job and still play netball.
Oh, dear, hush, watch your mouth out with
just
soap.
saying.
There we go.